Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, I would like us to take a look at Ethereum, Chainlink, and Uniswap and their price action. As always, I always like to start off the video with the Bitcoin chart, mainly because Bitcoin is the largest cryptocurrency on the market by a wide margin. One could argue it is the index of the market, and because of that, any price action of Bitcoin uh, uh, di- directly correlates with altcoins, and you can have certain altcoins that are independently shooting up 5-10% or vice versa when it should be going up. And I would say that those are the exceptions, not the norm. So let's dive in. So we're on the weekly chart, but I'm going to flip it to the daily. Bitcoin yesterday made a 10% move to the upside, reaching almost $16,000 on the later in the day when it printed a new daily candle. Um, we actually went as high as 15,968, $30 away on Bitstamp. I would say that's pretty damn close. So now we are slowly going down, leveling off, however you want to call it. We did also say the same exact thing here, but Bitcoin had other plans and went to the upside. So things are extremely bullish. And the next thing would be the Bitcoin dominance chart. I made a video about this a few days ago, how we were watching Bitcoin going up to this line of resistance here that the dominance chart has been following since last year of September 2019. As you can see, we bounced off here, 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 and finally we've made contact a few days ago and we actually shot past up it. Now this is the weekly chart. I would say that we need to wait until a weekly close before we make any other decisions on how this might play out. As you can see, in this past summer, we actually also did wick up above the line. However, when it closed, it was below the line. So today's Friday. We still have all of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before we see a weekly close on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And the idea here is that we hope that the dominance chart, the dominance candle will bounce off of this line and then come down. If we're following the same pattern as we see here, it would be a larger move down. In the future, there could be another bullish rally for Bitcoin, which brings it back up to this line here. And if we like extend this line, like we could see like around like 60% we might make contact again, but that's far into the future. No one really knows about that. So all we can do now is here and wait and see. Now if we flip it to the daily, you'll see what kind of is happening from the day to day, obviously. But yesterday, because of that bullish rally on Bitcoin, everything shot up. Like the Bitcoin dominance chart shot up, and then now we're retracing back to the line. And it's a pretty stark decline when you're talking about dominance, when you're losing about 1%. That's millions and millions of dollars of price dominance in comparison to Bitcoin. Now, what does that red candle mean? Well, that means that altcoins are doing phenomenally well. What is interesting is I've said that altcoins naturally do well, or they should be doing well. They will be doing well when Bitcoin is sideways. Like here, in this sideways moving action, we saw Ethereum really shoot up. Here, the same thing with altcoins. However, we are not moving sideways, clearly. We have shot up about 30, 40, almost around 50%, I would say, since October. 50% move to the upside. This is extremely bullish and by no means moving sideways. Again, I would say this is probably the exception, not the rule. So I would say don't expect this every single time Bitcoin makes an extremely bullish rally. One could argue that A lot of people did not expect Bitcoin to be touching 16,000 at this point in time. Even the people who believe in the 4-year cycle, this is extremely bullish, and because of that bullishness, it's moving into altcoins. And when they see Bitcoin move that high that fast, and they're seeing altcoins move this far down, like Ethereum, where it's about like a 35% correction from wick to wick, it's one could argue that this is a great buying opportunity. And Chainlink as well. We saw Chainlink move down from wick to wick about 60%, and now it's 6% up against Bitcoin today. Uniswap is another, but Uniswap has only been going down since its inception, so it's hard to make a call about that. However, today I want us to look at Ethereum, Chainlink, and Uniswap specifically. So let's get on to it. First, let's look at Ethereum. There were two things that I was talking about Ethereum prior to this video. One was this falling wedge pattern here. If we move to the daily, for the longest time, ever since the peak on Ethereum against Bitcoin, we have been moving in this falling wedge pattern here. Yesterday, we did drop out of it considerably. I would say that would be enough to say that's a breakout to the downside. However, there is a second caveat to this. I also mentioned that that Ethereum was making since the crash in March. Okay, that Bitcoin has been Ethereum has been making lower and lower highs. Higher and higher lows. We see it here, and now just recently we had made contact with it here, and now it seems that we're moving more to the upside. Whether this is a reversal is anyone's guess. It's too early to tell. But I think I can speak for everyone is that we can breathe a sigh of relief that altcoins are now giving us some positive movement with conviction, so to speak. And I would say that at Ethereum at these levels is a great buy, especially if you think, because of two things. A, I think Ethereum will make a newer high for this year from that level. I think it's going to go higher than 0.04. And in addition, we still have a long ways to go. Now, naturally, I don't know if we're going to make it higher than 0.15 or 0.14, but even targeting these levels, we have a long way to go. So I would say that this is a good buy for Ethereum for the long run, and even for like a swing trade, because if this becomes a reversal, then it's a very good buying opportunity, or at least to either stack your position on Ethereum or make a new position if you don't have a position in Ethereum. So currently right now with the US dollar too, we're at $440, albeit it looks like we're nearing close to the all-time, like the local highs of Ethereum from back in September. But mind you, Bitcoin's at a new price level. At this level, I think Bitcoin was like at $10,000. We can see here beginning of September. Where was Bitcoin at? Beginning of September, Bitcoin was like roughly $12,000, and it dropped down to 10. So we're at 15.5. So put it this in perspective. If Ethereum makes it above this level here to 0.04, we're looking at like a $650 Ethereum, and which is extremely bullish. Which is another reason why I think this is a great buying opportunity against Bitcoin. If you're looking at the US dollar, we're essentially moving sideways. But there's a lot more happening with Ethereum when you look at it against Bitcoin. Looking at Chainlink, as I mentioned before, we have been moving to the downside ever since its peak. From wick to wick, we've lost 60%. But I would also make the argument that this hasn't been the only time that Chainlink has done this to us. we have considerable drops. And even here, I wanted to highlight this one, that we also dropped 61%, 62% on Chainlink against Bitcoin back in July of 2019. So this is, I would say, no cause for alarm yet. It's great to see that Chainlink today is up 6%. It's great that a lot of these altcoins are up over 5-6%. However, this is not enough to indicate a reversal. We're going to start where we have to see that those newer higher lows locally with the cryptocurrency. But let's see if the bleeding stops here. We also see that that Chainlink does tend to respect the 20-week moving average like Bitcoin does during a bull market. But we do see instances when it dips below here and here. We are below that moving average. So we'll see if Chainlink is able to get back above it. And if it does, then I would say that that the party's still going, and the trend will continue for Chainlink, at least for the foreseeable future, unless a phenomenal shift in momentum changes with Chainlink, which is hard to say, considering that since its inception, it has just been on this exponential move. It's just phenomenal. Uniswap. Uniswap has very interesting price action. Let me flip it to daily so it's better to see. We have seen two bullish candles. It looks like Uniswap, like a lot of the other altcoins, are trying to do a reversal. Today is a 15% change, like to the upside against Bitcoin, which is phenomenal. But we've seen this before. We've seen this happen before. We've seen it happen here, here, and you can argue here. And you can argue here, where it looked like Uniswap was trying to make a bottom, that it's gonna make a reversal, and it kept on going down. So compared to all three, Uniswap would probably be the one that's most up in the air, the most uncertain, albeit having the most bullish candle compared to all the three. Even though it's up 16% since yesterday, does not change the fact that we're still in this incredibly bearish downwards trend. Now, I would argue that at some point, it's only a question of when, Uniswap will reverse this, and I feel that Uniswap will play a heavy hand this upcoming cycle. So, as I mentioned before, my Uniswap positions are actually, I've been buying the dip, so to speak. I did buy at 20,000 sats. I did buy it around 16,000 sats a few days ago. And I was continuing to, I was prepared to buy more if it went down further and further and further, up until about 90% losses up to the wick. That was my game plan. Right now, that game plan's on hold currently because of this bullishness. I am prepared to keep buying within this region if it continues to range in this region. I'm trying to spread my buys like every week or so. However, I'll be hesitant to buy anymore if it passes 20,000 sats. It'll be a wait and see. Now, naturally, like if Uniswap makes a reversal and does this and then this, if the indicators show that it's being oversold at that point, then yeah, I might consider buying. But at this foreseeable moment, if Uniswap just blasts, makes a reversal and goes straight up, then that's it for my buying. And although I might feel kind of bummy that I wasn't able to accumulate the amount of Uniswap that I wish I did, I'd rather have that feeling than simply buying at a local peak and just watch it go down. And that's just discipline. But essentially, that's what I'm looking at right now. The important one is Ethereum. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency. If Ethereum does well, that is another indicator that that altcoins are going to do well. Now, also considering, I'd also like to make the point that I also did buy in this region yesterday night, last night. Um, it was quite an interesting play. So I'll show you what I did. So essentially, I'm looking to offload my Celsius positions. Um, Now, I do have certain like levels that I'm looking to sell at. Um, that works with me, and I will not sell to the downside. I'll only sell to the upside. So, um, mind you, I have been selling like on the way up. So from these moves up, I have been selling, but the most recent sell was up here. So what happened was that Celsius um, was the first one off the bat in a outpacing Ethereum. It was losing against Bitcoin, but it was gaining against Ethereum. Um, the second point was that Ethereum itself was losing ground against Bitcoin. So in that sense, Ethereum was bleeding harder than Celsius at the time, last night for that fact. So because of that, Celsius reached up to like $1.90 on liquid. So what I did was then I set a trailing stop order around around like this level, and I think I sold at like 408. 0.00408 or something Ethereum per. So what happened was when Ethereum shot up, that trailing stop loss got triggered, and so now my position, portion of my Celsius position is now in Ethereum, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. I was looking to offload my Celsius position. I think it's a little too rich compared to my Bitcoin and Ethereum positions. I was looking to again also increase my Ethereum position. So this killed two birds with one stone, and that is my game plan with Celsius. Eventually, like I'm going to be selling all of my Celsius on the way up, and that's going to go to either Bitcoin or Ethereum, whichever one has the better value for. Which one has the better value trade? At that moment, it would have been in Ethereum because when you look at the Celsius Bitcoin chart, we still haven't beat the highs that we were in October. We're still ways away from that. But against Ethereum, Celsius is now was over, and I thought it was a good trading opportunity. We'll see how this plays out. If Ethereum does skyrocket, I would argue that it would have like a good chance to outpace Celsius, because as we see with Celsius against Ethereum, they don't independently, like they don't jointly rise up together. Um, just like in like Celsius against Bitcoin, you see these macro swings. So I'm going to bet that Celsius valuation against Ethereum is going to go down, not because it's just losing value against Ethereum, just because Ethereum is going to be outpacing Celsius for the short term. So that's and at that point, I can consider buying back into my Celsius position. But at the moment, my Celsius position, even after this trade, is fairly substantial, and I am perfectly fine the way it is now. And I'm just as content of actually making it smaller and and putting those profits into Bitcoin and Ethereum for now, and also maybe Uniswap, because that might be a good trade-off there. Just shifting my positions, but we'll see with Uniswap. Um, but yeah, that's essentially what I wanted to talk about today. Congratulations, everyone. Take a deep breath. Your altcoins, at least today, is looking fine. But thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. If you really liked the video, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Take care.